In today's video, we're going to be having a look at the Reolink ARGUS 3 Pro. We're going to be breaking down the device's technical features, having a look at what you get in the box, and I'll also be sharing with you my thoughts and opinions on the camera and how I've personally been using it. Check it out. What's going on, guys? I hope you're all doing well. Full transparency as always, I was given this unit of the ARGUS 3 Pro for free by Reolink for the purposes of creating this video, but I was never paid or asked to create the video, and Reolink won't be seeing the video before it goes live. So everything you see in this video are all my own personal thoughts and opinions. And with that all said, let's carry on with the video. We're going to start off by having a look at what's included in the box, and then we'll dive straight into the technical features of the camera. But before both of those, let's get a sense for how this thing actually looks. Play that B-roll. The camera comes in a nice Reolink themed box and features the Reolink factory seal. This seal lets you know that no one else has opened the camera. Inside the box, you'll first find the Reolink documentation. This will contain things like the instruction booklet and some information on the camera. Next up, we've got a mounting strap, a USB-A to USB micro charging cable, and a freestanding plastic camera mount. We've then also got some screws and wall plugs, a piece of plastic which I think is a placeholder for the magnetic mount. Now, I got an early version of the ARGUS Pro 3, so it is possible that they weren't ready when this was shipped to me. And if that was the case, and Reolink, you're watching this video and want to send me one of those mounts. You then also get the standard security bracket, which features a ball joint and locking mechanism. And finally, we have the main camera unit with everything enclosed in a uniform body. On the front of the camera, you'll find the spotlight, the camera's image sensor, and also the PIR sensor. On the back of the camera, you'll find the DC port and camera mounting hole. You'll also find the QR code used to set up the camera. And along the bottom, underneath the rubber tab, you'll find the camera's power switch and SD card slot. So that's what it looks like and what's included in the box. Now let's dive into the features of it. The ARGUS 3 Pro is Reolink's latest indoor-outdoor smart 2K wireless security camera. Here in the UK, it costs just over £100, and equally in the US, it costs just over $100. So what does this thing actually do then? As I mentioned, this thing is a fully wireless camera, so it's got a super simple setup, and you can just place it or mount it wherever you want. And being fully wireless isn't the only thing that this camera's got going for it, it's also jam-packed with all these other features. The camera offers full person and vehicle detection. And unlike a lot of other security camera providers, these features are included with your camera, so when you buy the camera, you get access to these features, and there's no additional cost. Having access to these features with no additional cost or subscription really is a big win for Reolink, and we'll be coming back to the subscription side of things in just a minute. The camera features Reolink's 4MP Super HD sensor, which offers a 2K image which is 2 times clearer than 1080p, offering better details and better visuals. With the addition of the spotlight on the top of the camera is also able to make use of colour night vision as the area gets illuminated by that spotlight. Here's some footage that I recorded at night, and you can see that as the spotlight comes on, all the colours quickly pop into focus, offering up that true colour night vision. The camera also supports dual band Wi-Fi, so you can connect using either the 2.4 or 5 GHz band for a simple and flexible wireless setup. And again, this is another really good one that Reolink's got going for them. A lot of wireless security cameras only make use of the 2.4 band and don't let you use 5, so having both gives you that little bit of flexibility and may also increase the speed of your device depending on placement and your network. The camera utilises a rechargeable battery. The battery used in the camera is a 6500 mAh rechargeable battery. The battery life's estimated at 1 to 3 weeks, but the battery life will vary depending on the user's settings, the usage, and the temperature of the environment that the camera is placed in. The camera can be charged with a standard 5V 2A USB power adapter, or alternatively, if you want to go green, you can make use of a solar panel. As an add-on for the camera, you can get the Reolink solar panel, which will plug directly into the back of the camera and power it with solar energy. With the solar panel, you obviously get the solar panel, but you also get a wall mount and a 4-meter connection cable. The solar panel is also compatible with a wide range of other Reolink cameras, so if you do happen to have any of those and you want to make use of the solar panel on another camera, you can do that. I've personally been making use of the solar panel, and I've had the camera now for a few months. I've only ever had to charge the camera up just the once, which was for the initial setup. So if you are thinking of getting this camera, I would highly recommend getting the solar panel as an accessory. If you're here in the UK, the solar panel will set you back about £25, and if you're in the US, I think it's about $35. And while we're talking about accessories for the camera, one that does look good is one that I actually haven't tested, but it's the magnetic bracket. So the magnet bracket is exactly what it sounds like. It's a bracket that's magnetic, so one end you'll attach to the wall and the other end you'll attach to the back of the camera, and then you can just magnet the camera onto the mount, and the mount is very strong. I imagine this one's a big time saver if you happen to move the camera around and you've got set points that you always place it, or if you don't use a solar panel and you need to just quickly take it down for a quick charge. The ARGUS 3 Pro is IP65 weatherproof, so whether it's rain or shine, indoors or outdoors, this camera should be able to hold its own in whatever environment it's in. Like most smart security cameras, the camera has two-way audio that allows you to communicate with the person that's in front of the camera. The built-in microphone and speaker are fairly average, but they do get the job done. So here we've got an example of using the microphone just to see what the quality is like. So this is a capture of the camera outside in the daylight, just so you can get a bit of an idea of what the audio is like. The microphone on the camera is also fairly exposed, so there's no protection from the wind. So if it is windy, it is heavily affected, and you'll hear that in the audio. And like I said, they are fairly average, but they're more than capable of being able to record some decent audio, or to be able to actually have a conversation with somebody that's in front of the camera. The camera uses smart alerts to instantly alert you once a person, car, or movement has been detected. These alerts are all configurable, and you can fine tune them, and you can also mix and match them so you can have specific ones play when a specific event happens. You don't have to use the Reolink app, so you don't need a phone or a tablet in order to make use of these, as you can set them all up with the Reolink desktop client and web client. You will, however, need a phone or tablet with the Reolink app installed to be able to make use of push notifications. The push notifications are pretty quick and they arrive in a timely manner, so you can get push notifications if a vehicle's detected, if a person's detected, or if there's any motion. And depending on the setup of your camera, so where it's placed, what your settings are, so the things like the brightness and sensitivity, these can also affect how those push notifications are delivered to you. With the default out-of-the-box settings for the camera, I tried to get the camera to generate some false alerts with the help of the Paw Patrol and a piece of string, but with all these attempts, I wasn't able to get the camera to generate any false alerts. Another great thing about the smart alerts is you can create schedules, so you can set times and days when you want notifications to appear and when you don't want them to appear. This will allow you to do things like set notifications for specific times of the day, so maybe in the evenings you don't want to get any notifications, and you can do this all through the Reolink app. The smart alerts can be one of four things. They can be instant push notifications to your phone or tablet. They can be an email which goes to whatever email address you want, and within that email you get an image of whatever was detected. The alert can also be a siren or a custom sound recorded by you. Having the siren or custom voice alarm combined with the spotlights can be a big deterrent and can help scare off trespassers, which is probably something that you want with a security camera. The speaker volume on this camera isn't as loud as you'd hope, so playing the siren or custom audio doesn't actually go very loud. I've got a little snippet of what the siren and custom audio sounds like, but just remember I am recording the ARGUS 3 Pro with the camera quite close to it, so it's going to make it sound a bit louder than it actually is. So before you say, oh, that sounds okay to me, just remember it is pretty close to it.
Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and if you ding dong the notification bell, you'll be alerted to any future video I do.
Setting up the custom audio is very simple with the Reolink app, and if you've got another Reolink camera, then you'll be familiar with this setup. In the Reolink app, underneath the siren settings, you'll see an option to just toggle the siren on, so you want to make sure that this is turned on, and then you'll see the option for custom audio sound. And when you press that, you'll get the option for the default sounds or custom sounds. If you choose custom sounds, it's going to allow you to record 5 seconds of audio. Once you've recorded your 5 seconds of audio, it will upload it to the camera, and you can play it back just to make sure you've got the audio right. And if you're happy with it, you can press done and it will be saved then. The ARGUS 3 Pro also allows you to do privacy masking, which allows you to black out areas that are in the camera's view. The privacy masking is super simple to set up and it can all be done from within the Reolink app. In the app, you just draw little black squares onto sections of the camera's view that you want to be blocked out. These sections are then not included in your camera's recording. The camera has remote access, meaning you can view the camera's live stream, or you can access and modify any of the camera settings from any place at any time. A lot of Wi-Fi cameras now offer this, and it's super simple for people to just open up an app on the phone to view their camera streams, and the Reolink app does this very well. The camera also offers flexible and secure storage by use of micro SD card. On the base of the camera, you'll find a little rubber tab that's covering up the micro SD card slot. You simply lift the rubber tab to reveal the SD card slot, and you can insert an SD card with a max capacity of 128 gigabytes. Using the SD card means you've got full local storage and there's no need to use the cloud unless you choose to. Do you remember how I said we're going to come back to the Reolink subscription options? Well, we're actually not, and it's because there isn't any. With Reolink, when you buy the camera, you get all the features included with the camera, so there's no additional monthly subscriptions or any hidden costs. You get all the features, and anything that comes out in firmware updates is also free to you. This is great that Reolink do this, and they don't hold any of your features hostage or hide them behind a paywall. The only additional cost you may want to make for Reolink is the additional cloud service, and this cloud service is only available in a select few countries. At the time of recording this video, the cloud service isn't available in Europe or the UK due to some GDPR issues, but Reolink are working on getting this working, so this may be available in the future. And again, the cloud service is optional, so if you don't want to utilize it, you can just use local storage and put an SD card in your camera. The recording quality for this camera is also really good. With streaming and playback, you've got two different options. You've got Fluent and you've got the full 4 megapixel. With Fluent, you're going to have smaller file sizes, but the stream and actual quality is going to be reduced and it's going to look a little bit pixelated. But with the full 4 megapixels, you're going to get that full quality, you're going to get the whole range, and you're also going to get bigger file sizes. Here's a direct contrast between the two. So up first, we've got the full quality. And following this, we've got the Fluent one, which is the lower quality one. And then a nice side by side. The setup for the camera is nice and straightforward. All you need to do is turn the camera on and open up the Reolink app in your phone. With the app open, you're going to choose to add a new camera and it's going to get you to scan the QR code, which you can find on the back of the camera. You'll then just need to run through the setup wizard and do things like configure your Wi-Fi and add an admin password. The camera's then going to need to scan a QR code generated on your phone, and after it's done this, that's setup complete. And that's literally it for the setup. So you can then start playing around with the camera settings and actually choose where you're going to mount or place the camera. If you're using the Reolink desktop client, the camera should automatically be detected on your network and it should appear in your sidebar. And we can see my camera here is already connected and I can see the live view for it here. In the bottom right corner here, we've got some options to turn on different settings for the camera. In the desktop client, we can actually also manually edit the camera settings. So we can choose the little gear icon on the camera we want. And you can then make all the same modifications that you could do within the Reolink app. With the ARGUS Pro 3, you can view the camera's live streams on various compatible Alexa devices, such as Echo Shows and the Fire TV. In this demo, I'm going to be using the Fire TV. If you didn't create an account when you set up your Reolink app and you just added the camera directly to the app, then you'll need to create a Reolink account in order to carry on with this next step. From within the Reolink app, you're going to want to choose Cloud, which is located along the top menu, and from there you're going to want to press Smart Home. Along the bottom of the screen, you should then see any Reolink cameras that you own that are compatible that you can expose to the Smart Home systems. In our case, we're exposing it to the Amazon Echo, so we can just choose our device and click Enable. Once we've enabled that in the Reolink app, we're going to want to open up the Alexa app on our phone, and we're going to do a search for Reolink in the Alexa skills. Once we've found it, we're going to enable it and sign into our Reolink account. The Echo will then do a discovery and it should locate any of the cameras that you've exposed. With that all set up, you should be able to ask the Echo to show you a specific camera, and when you do that, you should be able to view the camera's live stream. Show me ARGUS 3 Pro.
Okay.
The stream seems to work well, but there is a bit of a delay, probably by about 10 seconds or so, and it was also the same with my Echo Show devices. So with this footage, I was actually able to go and walk in front of that camera, come back to the TV and record myself. So bear that delay in mind if you were thinking of getting one of these cameras and using an Echo device as your main viewpoint. I will say though, the camera delay has invented a new game for my two youngest children. They currently like running in front of the camera to pull some faces and then they quickly run back to the TV. And this actually leads me on to my next section quite nicely. So how have I been using the camera? I've actually primarily been using the camera as an indoor camera, and more specifically, I've been using it as a baby monitor. The camera's been great to just put on top of a wardrobe and have it look down on the room, and it's got a wide enough viewing angle to actually be able to capture everything I want. And yes, it's definitely overkill for this purpose, but it's been how I've been making use of it. And the particular spot I've actually got it in is perfect for sunlight, so it's been powered by the solar panel and I never have to worry about charging it. So it's a super powerful, eco-friendly baby monitor. Okay, the last feature I want to talk to you about then is the time lapse. I've never seen this feature on a security camera before, let alone a battery operated one. Reolink have made this feature very easy for people to use, and there's also a bit of customization that you can do with your time lapses. The time lapses are started from within the Reolink app. You just go into your camera settings and then choose time lapse. From here you get a bunch of presets defined by Reolink for various different activities such as watching construction or watching the clouds move. You can also create your own presets, so you can choose how many images you want to take over a period of time. You get a preview for how long your time lapse is going to take. It gives you the start time and the end time, and it also tells you how big the file is going to be, which is quite a nice touch. Okay, to wrap this up then, I'm going to give you 3 of my pros and 3 of my cons for this camera. My first pro then has definitely got to be the fact that there's no subscriptions for this camera. So when you buy the camera and any accessories you want, they're yours. There's no extra fees or anything you need to pay to unlock extra features like person or vehicle detection. You get everything out of the box and they're all yours. My next pro for this camera is the camera's night vision. So this camera's got extremely good night vision, and I'd probably say it's one of the best night visions that I've seen on a small battery power camera like this. And my final pro has got to be the time-lapse feature. So onto the cons then. My first con then is the speaker volume on the camera. So currently the siren and the custom audio just don't sound very loud, and I'd like it if it was a bit louder and a bit more boomier and a bit more bassier, so that it was a bit more of a deterrent to people. My next con is the fact that it doesn't have any RTSP or OnViv support. Now I know that this might not be a big one for everyone, but personally for my setup and the way that I use my cameras, I like it if these features are available so that I can make use of those cameras in my existing smart home system. And I know it's not very practical with it being a battery powered camera, but if it was something that could be enabled and then it was down to the user to actually control and limit the way that they use it, then that would be a great thing, I think. My final con then is kind of 2 things really. It's to do with the stream timeouts and the slow Alexa response. The first part of that then, the stream timeouts, is when you're using the desktop or the mobile app. So when you're viewing the camera's feed, you get a little message popping up to tell you that you need to press yes in order to carry on viewing the camera. For me personally, I'd like it if it wasn't this option where you have to press yes. I'd like it if it was just a one-time message that told you if you're viewing the stream for a long time, it's going to drain your battery, and then it's up to you then to close the stream. So you can just have that open as long as you want. And the other side of that was the slow Alexa response. So this is when you're telling the Echo Show or your Fire TV to view the camera stream. So sometimes it takes a bit of time for it to actually open up the stream. And then when the stream is open, there is that sort of 10-second or so delay. So I'd like it if that could be improved. And this may well be a hardware or networking thing, but for some of the cameras that I've got in the house, they open the streams fine and they don't have that big delay. And there we go, that's my pros and cons. So let's get down to it. Should you buy this camera? This camera is definitely aimed at somebody that wants a super easy setup in terms of actually mounting the camera and actually setting up all the camera software. They want a simple place to actually access and control all the camera's features. And they don't need to be looking at the camera constantly, so those push notifications and motion recordings are enough. I think this camera ticks all the boxes for everything you need in a good smart home camera, and for that reason, I would definitely recommend it. And there we go guys, that's been a look at the ARGUS 3 Pro. If there's anything I missed or you've got this camera and you've got some cool tips for it, then let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop me a like, and if you're not already, hit that subscribe button and ding dong the notification bell. You'll then be alerted to any future video that I do. If you're interested in a sneak peek at some of the upcoming tech and projects for the channel, then check out this video that I created the other week. And if you want to stay up to date with what I'm doing, then check out my Facebook page and my Instagram. As always, a massive thank you to these awesome dudes. These awesome dudes are my Patreons. If you're interested in supporting my channel and becoming one of these awesome dudes, then there'll be a link to my Patreon in the description below. So thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.